Hey everyone, it's Suzy Schaak. Welcome back. So glad you're here. So you see some props around me today. So if you'd like to just pause the video for a moment and go and grab some props. I'm going to kind of dig into the hips a little bit more today. And these are things that you can find around the house. Right now I've got a large bolster, which could be just a large pillow or two large pillows. I have a smaller bolster. Again, it could be a smaller pillow. It could also be a couple blankets rolled up or a couple towels rolled up. And I've got two blankets as well, and I've got a block. So just grabbing things from around your house that kind of resemble these would be great just for some extra added support for your poses today. We'll do a little more restorative postures when we come down to the floor. So pause me for just a moment, go grab your materials, and then restart. All right, friends, welcome back. If you stepped away for a moment, let's just begin in extended child's pose. So taking the knees to the outside edges of the mat and big toes to touch. Start up just sitting on your heels for a moment and rock yourself a little bit from side to side. So again, we're going to kind of open up the hips a little bit today, and this would be one way of starting. You have 5 components to the hips. So you've got the adductors, inner thighs, abductors, outer thighs. You've got the glutes, you've got the hip flexors, psoas, and you've got the hamstrings. So those areas right now, as we're leaning into the hips, you'll probably feel some stuff through the inner thighs, through the groin, the adductors. But a lot of people also feel it through the hips as well, through the glutes. So I like to just begin by rocking a little bit side to side, and then easing down maybe onto forearms, and again rocking self side to side, just noticing how it's feeling. Beginning to kind of find a rhythm to your breath, lengthening out the breath a little bit more, and then surrendering yourself all the way down, whether arms come up and overhead or you bring them out to cactus arms, or just resting forehead on the tops of the hands. You can find stillness as you move into your child's pose, or you can continue just rocking side to side, but you're moving and inching with your breath. So we want to begin to lengthen our breath, closing the eyes, and as you're lengthening the breath, just exploring the body from the inside out and communicating with your beautiful body wisdom as to what it needs today, what would feel really good. Even if it's not feeling so good, can you breathe into it to find a little release and just allow it to give you some feedback? So if any of you have been watching more of the videos, I just did one with Madeline, and it was a focus on the hamstrings. And I want to tell you, those star jumps, I'm feeling them 2 days later. So I'm just going to take my time with my breath and communicate how sorry I am to my body that I put it through that. Good. And begin to shift into your Ujjayi pranayama. So that's in through the nose and out through the nose. That beautiful, audible breath that becomes such a lovely meditation with your breath. And it's feeling the breath and sipping it in through the nose, feeling it kind of swirl down through the throat, that slight constriction in the back of the throat, especially as you're exhaling. It's acting as a filter, and it's also acting as like a humidifier, bringing that humid air back up and into the sinuses and out. So taking just a couple more breaths, again, whether it's in stillness or in slow, subtle movements. And then from child's pose, easing yourself into tabletop pose. And finding your cat and cow, so allowing the tailbone to lead the way, allowing the belly to come through the shoulders and the gaze on the inhale in your cat spine, and exhale I said that wrong. Inhale to cow pose. And I'm going to turn where you can see my spine. And exhale into your cat spine. There, we've got it. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do 3 more, and I'm going to move the props out of the way a little bit here so there's more space. And you can see the movements. Good, a couple more. And then finding your neutral spine after the last one. Beautiful. Let's walk the knees out a little bit wider and walking the hands forward, and then just starting to do big circles with the hips. And always, always moving with the breath. And then switching directions. There's a lot of creaking going on. I don't know if you can hear it. A couple more times. Good, and then coming back to center, but keeping hands out in front of you just a little bit more. Bringing knees under hips. And then just doing these little hip dips from side to side, allowing the low lumbar to stretch and release a little bit. Connecting it with your breath. Inhaling as you come to center. Exhale as you lower the hips. Beautiful. Back to center again. Just sitting back, give your wrists a little bit of a break, rolling the wrists out. I like to be in downward facing dog for quite a while, and for some that's uncomfortable. For me it feels awesome, but allowing the wrists to get that break. So coming back into tabletop, stepping out into your high plank, and I'm just going to pedal it a little bit, stretching out the arches of the feet, making sure that my wrists and hands are right underneath my shoulders and my feet are hip distance. Good, and sometimes I just march it out a little bit. And what I'm doing right now is really, it's warming up the shoulders and it's warming up the core. All the stabilizing muscles through the belly and through the spine. Good. And then just slowly march yourself up, bringing hips high until you find that downward facing dog. And pedaling that out, shifting weight and shifting gaze. Maybe taking a wider stance. Wider and shorter stance. I love to do this again because I can get into the IT band a little bit as I'm shifting my hips side to side, and I can get back into the inner thighs again, and my hamstrings are feeling it. And I have some really nice stability with a wide downward facing dog. So if you haven't shortened your down dog, shorten it now just a little bit. And let's take a little twist. So the left hand's going to reach up and then through either to the hamstring, the calf, or the ankle. And then keep on rotating, chest through and gaze up towards the armpit. And there's a little giving and receiving here between the hips and the arm. Good, and release. Take a breath in and then exhale, switch sides. And then a gentle release. Wagging your tail a little bit, stepping the feet back in so they're hip distance apart. Let's make sure hands and feet are placed properly again. So shift into your high plank and then exhale into down dog. And shift into high plank and exhale, downward facing dog. Again, shift into high plank. Exhale, down dog. This time shift through your vinyasa, moving through chaturanga. You could come all the way down to the mat or take that 90-degree bend, opening into up dog or cobra. Releasing shoulders from the ears, full breath in, and exhale back into down dog. Inhaling, right leg high, bending the knee and opening the hip, circling it around. And then squaring it off. Pause and hold in that three-legged down dog, just trying to square the hips off. It really lengthens through the calf muscle. Doesn't matter if the heel is touching the mat or not. Good, take an inhale again, and exhale, coming into runner's lunge. I like to come up to my fists and giving my wrists a little bit of a break, and then just rocking yourself, your hips from side to side a little bit. Maybe taking bigger circles, where you're kind of digging into the low back a little bit when you're lifting the hips high and rolling through the hips. And then switching sides or switching directions of that roll. Good. One more time through, and then coming back to center, inhale. Exhale, dropping down to the back knee. Staying just as you are, or feel free to ground the left hand, inhaling and exhaling into a twist. Staying as you are again, or maybe grabbing the back foot. We're digging in fast. Going right into the quadriceps, the hip flexors, the psoas on the left leg, and the glutes, and the adductors on the right. Good, releasing that down. Ground the hands. Take an inhale. And exhale, walk the foot back to center. Pull the hips back, lengthen the breath, and then find a nice fold. You can stay on the knee, or you can pull back and sit on the heel. Breathing in, toes flex back towards the nose. Feel free to bend the knee as much as you need to. Breathing out. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Good, inhaling back to center, grounding the hands, front foot meets the back, chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. I like to hold my up dog for a little bit, just get a front body stretch. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Reaching sitting bones back to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Really pressing through the finger pads and the L of the hand, the pointer finger and the thumb, to get a nice stable downward facing dog. And then inhaling left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Same thing, circle it around if you'd like. And then squaring it off, pause and hold. Completely different stretch through that standing leg. Slowly ease it into your runner's lunge on the left side. I'm feeling it on this side. Good. Rocking it, lifting and circling it around. Whatever, again, you did on the other side, just find a little repeat on this one. Inhale and exhale, little twist if you'd like. Right hand will stay grounded. Left will come to the thigh. Breathe into it a little bit. Listen to the feedback. And if you'd like, you can reach back, grabbing onto the back foot. This may be a little intense. If you want, you can always grab a towel or a belt or some sort of strap, bathroom strap, to hook around the foot, just so you get a little quadricep stretch in. Good, gentle release. Ground the hands. Good, take an inhale, walking the foot center, and exhale, pull back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Ease into it, right? Take your time. Maybe you stay with the bent knee and just let the belly attach towards the thigh. If you're not feeling enough sensation, pulling back, maybe sitting on the heel. I always recommend, though, that you don't always have to go into deep sensation. There's just magic when you're doing it maybe 50%. and allowing your body some feedback and allowing your body a little bit of rest and giving back instead of always extending to your edge. Good, shift it forward, ground the hands. Front foot meets the back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Take your time with that front body opening, fill the lungs. And then exhale into your downward facing dog. Sitting bones, reaching again back to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Think about your down dog as lengthening the spine over lengthening the legs. Nice straight spine is what I prefer to see. And if that means bending the knees, then bend the knees. Long breath in. Long breath out. Good, let's roll up onto all 10 toes, bend the knees, belly to thighs, walking feet to hands. Whether it's wider, like a whole mat distance apart or hip distance apart. Get a breath. Again, find the length. Maybe you want a block here. Lifting up and like you're just tipping a bowl, which is your pelvis, into that nice forward fold, getting belly down to the thighs, and then let the spine follow. Again, it could be bending the knees. Just allow the head to hang heavy. And maybe you want to interlace hands behind you or in front of you. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Rolling the weight into the balls of the feet. The heels aren't going to leave the mat, but just roll the weight forward. Hands hang heavy. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Come to a halfway lift. Spine is long. Inhale, reverse your swan dive all the way up. And hands come back to heart center. Close the eyes, Samasti Tahi. What do you want to honor today in your practice? What's weighing on you that you can let go of and release? And what is so magical right now that you want to embrace that? And let's shift our focus to that. What do you want to embrace in your life? Your thoughts turn into emotions. Your emotions turn into a vibration, and that's what you want to send out and attract back. What goodness. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Gratitude, gratitude. Surya Namaskar A, sweeping arms up and overhead. Swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, find a halfway lift, a long spine. Exhale, ground the hands, stepping back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Being mindful, you can modify. You can come to knees. You can skip Chaturanga altogether. From knees, you could lower all the way down to the mat for Cobra Pose. Or 90 degrees, finding up dog. Take an inhale here. And exhale, let's bring it back to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, reversing the swan dive, Tadasana. Exhale, hands back to heart center, honor your intention. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, open the heart, swan dive and fold, maybe with bent knees. Inhale, open, find a long spine. Exhale, ground the hands, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra, heart space opens. Exhale, downward facing dog, sitting bones reach up. Spine is long, shoulder blades are back in their sockets. Weight moves out of the heel of the hand into the finger pads. Find that hasta bandha, that hand seal to your mat. Rolling up into all 10 toes, bend the knees, belly to thighs. Walk yourself to the top of the mat. Open to a halfway. Lift up and over the hips, fold forward. Ground the feet, sweep the hands high to the sky, Tadasana. Hands come back to heart center, honor your intention. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, open, halfway lift. Exhale, ground the hands underneath the shoulders, step back. Could be at knees, lowering all the way down to the mat. Opening cobra pose or up dog. And exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. You can alternate what you're doing as well through all of our vinyasas. One more beautiful breath in. And exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, love your fold. Weight goes in the heels. Sweep it up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Take a nice inhale, center. And exhale, take a little gentle twist. Right arm back, left arm forward. Good, inhale back to the center. Exhale, gentle twist. Inhale, center. Hands to the heart, forward fold. Open halfway. Ground the hands, step back. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg high. Let's bend the knee, open the hip. Just take a moment here and square it off. Right knee comes to right tricep. And inhale, bring it nice and high again. Right knee comes to left tricep, a little strength. Inhale, high. Finding low lunge. Drop down to the bottom knee, sweeping arms up and overhead. Exhale into that baby back bend. Pause and hold. Inhale, bringing palms to touch. Exhale, side body bend to the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Can you feel it through the hip flexor? Just enjoy that stretch. Maybe the hand now comes to the hip. Breathing into it a little bit more. Maybe hands are on blocks right now to stabilize you even more. Maybe fingertips reach down to the mat. Good. Take another inhale. Let's get as long as you can. And then exhale, bring the belly back to the thighs, ground the fingertips. Pull the hips back. Long breath in. Long breath out. Another little forward fold. One more breath. Unravel the spine, find a little more length. Exhale, fold, belly towards thigh. Knee can be bent. Good, inhale, shift it forward. Ground the hands. Front foot meets the back. Chaturanga Dandasana. I feel better already. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause and hold. Breathe into it. Inhale, left leg. Bending the knee, opening the hip. Take a moment and just enjoy that. And then square it off. Left knee, left tricep. Inhale, bringing it high. Left knee, right tricep. Inhale, bringing it high. And slowly into low lunge. Drop down to the bottom knee, stabilize, pull the glutes in nice and firm, sweep the arms up and overhead. Open to that baby back bend. Good, inhale, palms to touch. Exhale, get a side body bend to the left. Maybe you're stabilizing on a block and you're holding hand to a block. Do whatever creates the most stability in the joint. Allow the muscles to hug the bone. So I'm squeezing my glutes in, I'm squeezing my quadriceps and my hamstrings. Everything is stabilized. I'm squeezing my lower abdominals in to stabilize through the hips, so I'm not just stretching through the joint. My muscles are supporting the pose. Maybe bringing hand to hip. Maybe bringing fingertips to the mat. Good, one more inhale. And exhale, bring it forward. Pull it back. Long breath in. Long breath out. Another opportunity for that hamstring stretch. One more breath. Good. Shift it forward. Ground the hands. Front foot meets the back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Rolling up onto 10 toes. Bend the knees. Long spine. Walking to the top of the mat. Open, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, gentle twist. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, gentle twist. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale, hands to the heart, forward fold. Open, halfway, long spine. Exhale, ground hands, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, square it off. Right knee, right tricep. Inhale, bring it long. Right knee, left tricep. Stay as you are, extend the leg. Lifting the hips high. Good. Let's ground the hands. Bringing right leg high again. Slowly finding low lunge, stabilize rather than dropping down to the bottom knee. Sweeping all the way up into crescent lunge. Good, inhale, let's lift up. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. Again, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down, gentle twist, staying as you are, or back hand to back thigh. Good, inhale, release. Coming and straightening the legs, exhale, opening warrior two. Adjust the feet accordingly, shoulders release from the ears. Inhale, reverse your warrior, pause and hold, side body stretch, keep a bend in the knee. Good. On your next exhale, extended side angle. Staying as you are, half bind, maybe whole bind, depending on how open the body feels right now in this moment. Making sure that the chest is nice and open and you're not compressing into the hip flexor, that you've got some space. So maybe you want to release to that half bind so you've got a little more room for a breath. Nice. Inhale, let's reverse again. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Think of stability again through the hips, stability drawing down into the earth. Try tearing the mat in half between the ball of the front foot, outside edge of the back foot, and you'll have a really great triangle pose. Rather than just relying on the flexibility of the inner thigh, you've got some strength through the glutes, strength through the lower abdominals, holding you stable here. Good, deep breath, maybe taking a half bind, maybe extending fingertips nice and long. Try not to lock out the front knee, little micro bend there. Good, inhale. And an exhale. Good, inhale and release. Coming up to star pose, sinking down into goddess. Rock yourself out until you find the perfect goddess pose for you. Externally rotating the thighs. Knees tracking out to the pinky toe. Hands come to heart center. Long breath in. And a nice long, even breath out. Good, inhale, coming to rise again. Exhale, opening warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, half moon. Using a block if you'd like. Finding stability in that leg, maybe just fingertips brushing the mat, hovering. I'm finding a little balance issue right now. It's all good. Lifted leg is as active as a standing leg. You've got this. Hold and breathe. Hold and breathe. Pause here. 3, 2. Squaring the hips up. On 1, I'm in a standing splits. Nice. Maybe you want to bend the standing leg and just reach the heel to the sky. Doesn't make any difference to me how you experience it. Maybe you want to challenge your balance by bringing forearm around the calf. Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm going over, so I'm putting 1 fingertip down. Good, long, even breath in. Long, even breath out. Knees slowly come together, full breath in. Step it back into low lunge. Walk the foot out just a little bit, not as far as runner's lunge, but just so that you can get the torso through. Let's get a little bit of strengthening. So you can keep hands down to the mat or maybe move to fists. If you want more of a challenge, bring right hand behind the ankle, left hand over the top of the ankle. I'm squeezing into the midline, right? I'm not relying on my flexibility. Inhale, let's lift. Exhale, lower, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Again, good squeeze. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, pause and hold. Now I could totally be relying on the flexibility of my inner thigh and my groin, and I'm not. I'm really, really firm here. Firming the glutes and my lower abdominals. Pausing and holding. 3 and 2. Releasing on 1, drop down to the bottom knee, inhale. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, pull forward. And exhale, back. Good, inhale, forward. Just releasing any congestion and then walking it out into a runner's lunge again. This time maybe dropping down onto forearms. Long, even breath. Find some release. If forearms are too low, you've got those pillows, remember, or roll up a blanket, put it underneath the forearms. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Good. If you're on forearms, stay as you are. This is a little added challenge. If you're on hands, that's fine too. I'm going to lift my back knee. My front foot is going to meet the back. I'm just going to hover here, holding 3-legged plank. Firm the glutes, make sure they're stable. 4, 3, 2, here's the fun part, coming up onto 3-legged plank. On 1, holding here. 4, 3, 2, lift into 3-legged down dog on 1, full breath in. Exhale, move through your vinyasa, 3-legged chaturanga, up dog, and down facing dog. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Shake the leg, shake the leg. Whatever you need, all is well. Other side, left leg this high. Bend the knee, open the hip, just pause and breathe into it. Square it off. Left knee, left tricep. Bring it nice and high. Left knee, right tricep. Stay as you are, or extend the leg long, reaching right arm high to the sky, hips lift high, heart space opens. Deep breath. Reground the hands. Left leg lifts high. Slowly bring it through into low lunge. Stabilize, firm the glutes. Stack the spine, belly is drawing in nice and firm. Arms reach up and overhead. Good, inhale, let's lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, gentle twist. Left arm back, right arm forward. Belly comes through, shoulders, and gaze. Staying as you are, back hand to the back thigh. All is well. Feel that twist, that nice lengthening of the psoas. Good, inhale, bring it back to center, straighten the leg. Open warrior 2. Relax the shoulders. Good, inhale, reverse your warrior. Pause and hold. Get some space, separating low ribs from the hips. And then exhale, extended side angle. Half bind or whole bind. Again, whatever's in your practice, as long as it feels expansive and not compressed and squished. If the whole bind is too deep, just release. There's a lot more space in a half bind, and that shoulder blade is open nicely, or the front of the shoulders open nicely. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Good, inhale, let's reverse our triangle. Oh, that feels better. Exhale, triangle pose. Stabilize again. Remember, tear the mat in half. Like you're pressing in opposing directions between the ball of the front foot, outside edge of the back. Glutes firm when you do that. So I got all this stability through my hips. Then I can half bind and I extend forward. Remember not to lock out the front knee. Little micro bend in the front knee. Stability over flexibility. 2 more breaths. Good, gentle release. Reaching hands up, sinking down into goddess pose. My back is to you. Pardon me. Externally rotate the thighs, knees track out. Sit down nicely in that beautiful, beautiful goddess pose. All is well. Good, inhale, open warrior 2. Exhale, pause. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, half moon. That was not a graceful launch off for me. Ease and open it up. Some days it looks better than others. I had coffee before class, so my foot is wiggling all over because my muscles are just firing, firing, firing. Not recommended. Hold here, 3, 2, squared off, your beautiful standing splits on 1. Hip lifts high or leg lifts high. Remember, you can bend the knee and reach the foot to the sky and really fire that glute to lift the foot. Whatever feels good to you. Maybe you want to challenge the balance. Forearm behind the calf, other forearm. It's a beautiful thing. Good, bring the knees together. Step it back into low lunge. Walk the foot out just a hair, right? So you can fit your shoulders through, and you can stay on hands if you want and lift and lower this way. You can grab left hand behind the left ankle, right hand over. I'm squeezing into the midline, and inhale, lift, and exhale, lower down. And inhale, lift, and exhale, lower down. Good. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower, pause and hold. Squeeze it in, squeeze it in. All is well. 4, and 3, 2, gentle release on 1. Dropping down to the back knee, shifting forward and back. Release the congestion. Nice. And then walking that left foot up and out. Moving into your full runner's lunge. Use the props as needed. You could be on forearms, you could be on hands, you could have props underneath the forearms. Perfect. A couple more breaths. If you're down on forearms, just staying as you are. If you're on hands, staying as you are if you'd like. Lift the back knee, front foot meets the back. I'm lifting into a hover. Shoulders over wrists or hands over, shoulders over elbows or hands underneath shoulders. And just pause and breathe. All right, from here, come up to 3-legged plank. Lift that leg, 4, and 3, 2, lift it high, 3-legged down dog on 1. Inhale, exhale, move through your vinyasa. Up dog, downward facing dog. Feeling good? Pedal it out. You made it. All right, take a deep breath. Rolling on 10 toes. Walking or jumping, top of the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, let's just fold. Fold, fold, fold. Get a little stretch to the hamstrings now. Padagustasana, so yogi toe hold to the big toes. Big toe hold. Find length again, like you're tipping your pelvis like a bowl of water and then following with the torso. Knees could certainly be bent if that feels better. Good, releasing the toes. Halfway lift. Ground the hands, step back, move through your vinyasa. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Good, inhale, right leg high. Bend the knee, open the hip. Stay as you are, maybe flip your dog this time. Lifting hips high. Heart space opens. Such freedom in flipping your dog. Good, let's flip it back. And then right knee comes to the right tricep. Bring it high. Right knee, left tricep. Bring it high. This time, warrior one. Grounding the feet. Sweep it up. Hips are square to the front of your mat. Hip bones looking forward. Good, let's find some length. Moving into humble warrior. So first find some length through the spine, like you're decompressing the low back. Weights distributed equally. Remember tearing the mat in half between the front and the back foot. Sweep the hands behind you or grab opposite elbow. Take an inhale, maybe you're staying here. Exhale, lower down. Some of you may love humble warrior and want to stay because you're feeling this really beautiful stretch through the spine. If you want to explore it deeper, release the hand. Maybe you want to step the back foot out and find hurdler's pose. I don't know if it's going to be so pretty for me today, but hurdler's pose, your elbows or your triceps actually are squeezing in like you do in chaturanga, and the hips melt onto the triceps, and you lift the front leg. Good, and again, not so pretty today, but it felt good anyway. When you're done sweeping things around, finding your humble warrior once again. All right, everybody slowly coming to a halfway lift. Begin to straighten the front leg, walk the back foot in a little bit more. Pyramid pose. Just a couple breaths here. Right hip back, left hip forward. One more breath. Good, halfway lift. Ground the left hand, walk the foot back out. Revolve triangle. So we're really digging in now in revolve triangle to the adductors. Outside of the hip going all the way to the outside of the leg. That's what I really love about this pose. It wraps from the low lumbar right across the glutes, down the outside of the leg, down the IT band. Beautiful. One more breath. And then bring the hands back down. Square the back foot off. Find your low lunge. Front foot meets the back. Shake it out and move through your vinyasa. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Long breath in. Long breath out. Reset, left leg high. Bend the knee, open the hip. Stay as you are or flip your dog. Let's square it off. Inhale, lift it high. Left knee, left tricep. I don't even know if we did this on the other side. Lift it high. Left knee, right tricep. Bring it high. Warrior one. Reach it up and open. Left hip draws back, right hip draws forward. Now reach it forward. Pressing through the outside edge of the back foot so all the weight isn't going into the front quadricep. Open up the chest. Could be grabbing opposite elbow as well, or use a strap. Inhale. Exhale, stay as you are, or keep folding into humble warrior. Here we are. Let the head hang heavy. Let all your worries just melt out of the top of your head, down into your mat. I oftentimes like to challenge my practice because it pushes me into a place of surrender. All right, you can stay as you are, or you can find your hurdler's pose on this side. So walking hands way back so you've got the 90-degree bend, and then gently lifting off, front leg, back leg, all as well. Bringing it down. When you're ready, back into your humble warrior. 2 more breaths. Good. Coming to a halfway lift. Squaring the hips off. Take an inhale, straighten the front leg. Lifting the torso. Get the blood flow to reverse a little bit. And when you're ready, folding back into pyramid pose. Couple more breaths. Good. Find a halfway lift. Step the back foot out a little bit more. Right hand will ground to the inside arch. Make it with the outside too, depending on where your stability's at. Lengthen the spine in the inhale and allow the belly to come through and the shoulders, and then finish with the gaze. Revolve triangle. Good, gentle release. Grounding the hands. Stepping back. Shake the leg out. Move through your vinyasa. Up dog. And downward facing beautiful dog. Life is good. All right, let's come down onto your knees. Stretching out the hips a little bit more onto the mat. Cross your legs and pull your feet through. Get a little water if you want. Pull your props around. If you don't know what we're doing, so pull your props closer to you so you can grab them at need. All right. From here, my friends, let's move into Janu Shirshasana to begin with. So sitting bones are going to ground evenly. Extending both legs nice and long. And then left leg's going to come in to the inner thigh. Deep breath in, and on the exhale, a little fold. So you could use the props. You could roll up a blanket or a pillow, put it under the knee, and just take a fold that way. If you're not feeling much sensation, you can certainly release the bolster out and take a fold without it. Toes are going to flex back towards the nose. Right, so we're shortening the quadricep, lengthening the hamstring. Good, one more breath. And then let's gently lift up. Lift the hips high, sweep the hand back, stretching out front side of the body, stretching out those hip flexors. And then lowering back down. Lifting the hips up and let the front foot ease out. So you've got a 90-degree bend or 90-degree angle to the inner thighs. Torso's going to turn right towards the bent knee. And inhale, I'm going to lift to the left arm high, and exhale, reach it over for that side body bend and inner thigh stretch. And the right hand's just going to slide down. Again, if you have a strap or a belt, you can wrap it around the foot. Or you can do a yogi toe lock, whatever feels good. Good, and release. Again, let's lift the hips high, sweep the hand through, stretch, and relax. Square the hips off again, extend both legs long. You can see both feet, toes curl back, right foot comes to the inside. You can even put a bolster under the knee if you have tight hips, right? It could be under the knee on both sides. A rolled up blanket works just as fine as well. All right, sit up tall, sitting bones even. Inhale, there's just a little twist, belly towards the knee. Foot is flexed back, lengthen and fold. Good, gentle release. Right hand grounds, left hand reaches high, hips lift. Stretching front side. Good, and then lower down. Now, lifting hips, let the left foot lead, 90-degree angle to the inner thighs. My torso is now going to point towards my front knee, the bent knee, the right knee. And my right hand is going to lift high, inhale. And I'm going to slide the left hand down my thigh, exhale. Chest stays open towards the bent right knee. So what you're feeling is this glorious stretch through the low lumbar and the inner thigh. On the left side, low lumbar, on the right. And release. Right hand grounds again, left hand sweeps up, opening front side of the body. And lowering back down. Ah, so good. Square the hips off again. Maybe you want your bolster under both knees. Toes dorsiflex or feet dorsiflex, lifting up tall. Inhale. Like you're tipping the bowl of water, belly comes down towards the thighs, and I'm just going to fold nicely. Good, inhale, sit up nice and tall. Release the bolster. All right, so now let's wrap right knee over left. Could be here or could be here. Or it could be here. Should have started here. Could be inner thigh, outer thigh, or cross both legs. Give it a nice big hug. Take a breath in and exhale. Hug the thigh, and my belly's going to come through shoulders and finishing with the gaze. Go ahead and inhale, center, and exhale, little twist, counter twist. Staying in your counter twist, you can just rotate to the other side if you'd like, or uncross, recross. So left leg is over right now. It could be the inner thigh, outer thigh, or the bottom leg is bent as well. Take an inhale and then exhale, hug the thigh. Belly's going to come through shoulders and gaze. Good. Inhale, bring it back to the center. All right, so now we're moving into either cow face pose, so you're just dropping that knee now down on top of, left knee on top of the right. Inner thighs are squeezing together. If that's too intense, then finding easy seat or sweeping the right leg back and finding your half pigeon pose. The beauty of half pigeon, which I don't agree with doing at every practice, I like to rotate my hip openers around, but half pigeon, it gets the glutes, right? So it gets that nice external rotators but it also gets the hip flexors in the back legs. So you're hitting a couple muscle groups at the same time. Wherever you're at, just allow yourself to breathe into it, using props as necessary, and soften everything, and begin to soften the breath as well. Let's take about 4 more breaths. If you want to come up early and get a little front body opening, nice little stretch. Or you want to move into King Pigeon if that's in your practice. If you were in a seated and you'd like to do some side body bends, that's a great option as well. Everyone, ease out. If you're seated, extend the legs long and find a forward fold. If you are in half pigeon, finding downward facing dog. Pedaling it out, and then moving on to the other side when you feel ready. Taking your time to move into it. Once you've found the pose, just surrendering. Let the muscles be soft, let the belly be soft, let the breath be soft, and just surrender and relax and enjoy, and use props as needed to make sure that you can enjoy this beautiful hip opener. Once again, we'll take 4 more breaths. If you're ready to come up a little early and take King Pigeon, I like to get a little front body opening before I go into King Pigeon. If you're seated and you want to take some side body stretching, that's perfect too. All right, once you feel it and you're ready to move further, this is another really nice use for a strap. Just hooking the top of the foot with the strap and gently holding it with the top hands. And everybody, let's find a final downward facing dog together. Shifting the weight and the gaze and the hips, pedaling it out, whatever your body is calling for right now. And then find some stillness. Good, releasing onto knees. Crossing legs and pulling feet through. All right, this time we're going to move into using our props. So it could be blankets, it could be pillows, but you want to stack them high enough. I'm going to do it to the side. And maybe you even want to, if you've got a block, you can put a block under it to elevate it a little bit, right? So more like a recliner. Or again, you can stack the blankets underneath it as well, just to give it a little more height on the front end. So you got a little angle there. And sitting bones are going to come all the way back, so your low lumbar is actually touching whatever it is, if it's a pillow or a bolster or rolled blankets. And knees or feet are going to come to the outside edges of the mat, and you're going to drop both knees over to the left. Could be to the right, whatever side you go to. So my foot's on the thigh, and I'm like I windshield wipered over to the left side, right? And now I'm going to sit up nice and tall, and maybe you've got some blankets underneath the thighs as well. If they don't, just naturally go to the side. Support them however you need to. We're going to lift up really tall and slowly rotate our spine until the belly, and maybe you have to adjust the feet, or the knees, so that the thigh is now parallel with the back of the mat. And I'm going to keep lifting my belly, and I'm going to keep going and going and going until my belly rests on the bolster and my gaze follows. If that's too deep, then bring the gaze back towards the left shoulder, or to the right shoulder. If you can, you just continue to rotate. Let's take about 4 more breaths. Really relaxing, long, even breaths. And then in your time, gently release. I know it looks a little bit like you fell off the roof in this pose, but let's try the other side. So, again, shifting the back all the way, low lumbar towards your props. Adjusting the right thigh this time so it's parallel with the back of the mat. And the left leg follows in a windshield wiper fashion. And I'm going to lift up, and my belly's going to come through, and my shoulders. And then finishing, and make those adjustments, right? So that you can continue to rotate the spine, and belly's going to rest on the bolster, and my gaze is going to follow. So everything is lowering towards the right, and I'm going to continue to gaze to the right shoulder. Unless that doesn't feel good on the cervical spine, then I'll gaze back towards the left. And then relax your breath. And once again on this side, let's take about 4 more breaths. And gently ease yourself out. Slowly unravel. Good. And let's bring the feet to the outside edges of the mat and just windshield wiper from side to side for a little release and a rebalance on both sides. Nice. So what would feel good to me right now is to take my bolster or your rolled up blanket in front of you, and let's get the front side of the body a little bit more. So you're going to lift up, hips on the mat, on the bolster, excuse me, and kick everything else away. And slowly lower back like you are in a restorative bridge, and you could stay just as you are, or you could extend the legs long and feel that stretch through the hip flexors. So again, knees can be bent for more stability, or you could do one leg at a time, or both legs. And I feel a water bottle at my feet, so I'm going to be very careful of that. And just as best you can, surrender your breath and relax everything, arms out to the side. Let's take about 4 more breaths here. And in your own timing, when you're ready, release, coming onto feet, and then bringing knees up towards the sky and maybe extending feet to the sky as well. Feel free if you'd rather go into full plow pose and shoulder stand. Maybe bending the knees feels better to you than extending them to the sky, and just rock along the low lumbar, giving a little massage. And then grounding the feet. If you need it, just do one big lift into bridge and releasing the bolster out from underneath you. Maybe you want that under the knees for Shavasana. You choose. All right, let's bring knees into the chest. Give them a little roll on either side. Good. Inhale. On the exhale, release the left leg down, little supine twist. And the knee comes back into the chest, give it a squeeze, lower it down. Left knee comes into the chest, full breath in. And exhale, supine twist. Back to the center, give it a squeeze. Right knee meets left. Inhale. Exhale for your final Shavasana. When you feel ready, slowly brushing thumbs over fingertips, wiggling fingers and toes, or maybe bringing knees up, windshield wipering. Beautiful reset to your day. When you're ready, rolling onto your side in a fetal position and just finding some gratitude. And again, when you feel ready, full of gratitude, resetting your day, let's come to a comfortable cross-legged seat. Palms are facing up on the knees, eyes are closed. Hands come in prayer position to your heart center. Guiding love and light from the heart to the third eye center. May you have peace in your thoughts. Prayer hands come to your lips, may you have peace in your words. Prayer hands back to your heart, peace in your heart and your actions. Bowing forward to seal in our practice. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the class.